Hi guys. I'm going to share with you guys something unusual that happened to me this weekend, okay? So I'm not that one person that runs my mouth loosely, okay? I don't just talk, okay? I calculate what I say because I don't want to be held accountable in the wrong way for something I said. I'm very careful when I say things to people. So this weekend we had an event, an overnight event. It was a friend's late dad's wake up. So it was overnight. And then I met this lady. We're just standing there and she kept looking at me and I thought it was kind of awkward, so I wanted to break the ice. And so I said, "Oh, you just came from work?" And she's like, "Why did you ask that?" At that point, I didn't know what to say. But wisdom is profitable to direct. So I said, "Oh, because you just came. I was thinking that maybe you just got off work." Because you know how, some people know how events are here when we have overnight events. Some people do it that way. So those people who come from work, like nurses who had worked maybe 7 a to 7 p or whatever shift you work, got off at 7, made it to the event afterwards. So I had thought, and honestly, the reason why I asked her that, besides the fact that she just got there, the main reason I asked her, she wore something that looked like a scrub. I'm sorry, that's what I thought. And when she asked me like she was gonna get offended. So I quickly said, "Oh, because you just got here. I'm sorry, did you just come from work?" So I quickly changed the conversation and I just talked about something else. And that is unlike me, you guys. And I learned something from that. Even if I already know this before, I'm not one person who just jumps into conclusion. Even when I know people are pregnant, and now this is where the moral of the story comes. Okay, now sometimes some people look at you, see you and say, "Oh, you're gaining weight. Are you pregnant?" All these unsolicited conversation and suggestions and all of that. I'm not one person that does that. It doesn't matter even if you're close to me. Until you tell me by yourself that maybe I'm expecting a child or this or that, I'm always very patient to allow people to tell me their own thing, not just jump. But honestly, this is the moral of the story, because I really felt bad when I kind of sensed her countenance when she asked me why did I ask her that, and I quickly changed the topic and then we kind of eventually got along, throughout the night. But this is just for everyone who will see people and just say, "Oh, you look this," "Oh, are you pregnant?" "Oh, you're gaining weight." "Oh, what are you doing? You're losing weight." All these unsolicited conversations and all. Be careful, because you don't know how people take things. But if you're that kind of person that just sees people and just runs your mouth easily and just say things that do not concern you and you were not asked, or that doesn't even add anything, be careful how you talk to people. I always hear where people say things online that, "Oh, maybe especially content creators, when they post things and people start suggesting, 'Oh, are you pregnant? You're pregnant,' and all of that." That particular conversation, honestly, I don't take offense when people say things like, "Oh, you've gained weight," or "You're gaining weight," or things like that, because honestly, I don't care. Before you tell me something, I know. If I'm gaining weight, I know. And maybe because I'm also from Nigeria, where we loosely say things. That's not an excuse for bad behavior. But maybe I'm just used to that kind of thing. So it's like an immunity. When people say things to me, it doesn't get to me. But honestly, the conversation, the end of this story is that be careful what you say to people. You don't know the battles that people are fighting. Honestly, everybody's going through a lot. So you might just say that one thing that can just trigger them the wrong way. Maybe it's actually what they're going through, and you just say that thing that just, sets them off wrongly, or even make you look like a bad person that might not even be the kind of person that you are. So let's just all be guided on, what we say, when we say things, how we say them. Let's be sensitive as well. Let grace guide our lips, honestly. I eventually, like I said, we exchanged numbers and we got to, have conversation throughout the night. We got along at the end of the day. But what if I didn't have a chance to do that? What if she just went and just maybe sees me somewhere else and remembers me as that lady who just, said something to her? You know what I'm talking about. So let's just be careful. And again, if you have to say something to anyone, I feel like one thing I know is also understand your relationship with the person or the people. Honestly, there are people that I can say things to that I don't feel like they would take it to heart because they honestly know me. In that situation, it's different. And even at that, that even if you say something that is off to the person because of your relationship and the knowledge they already have of you, they will come to you and say, oh, this thing you said, I don't like it, or how you said this thing. And you apologize and you guys move on. So moral, be careful what you say to people. People are going through a lot. People are fighting battles. What you say can trigger them, can make it even worse for them. Just be sensitive, honestly, and just guide your lip with grace. That's what I wanted to say here, because honestly, I almost fell victim to this, and I thought about it throughout the weekend, and just honestly, I thought about it. So I thought I'd come and share about it and just tell you, let grace guide your lips. And that being said, have a great one, and I'll see you in the next video.